Hey there, sweet souls. How are you? In this video, I wanted to explain a little bit of what this new 5D Earth that we're all talking about, and I've done several posts on, what that really looks like for you in your everyday life, and everyday life, not as it is now in self-quarantine, but as it is when you're just going about your day and meeting friends for dinner. So, oh, and this is my dog, Pierre. He decided to make an appearance today. So now, if you've watched or listened to any of my podcasts, you'll notice that in almost every episode I'm saying that we are souls with a body, not a body with a soul, and we didn't come here just to pay bills and die. And now this new 5D Earth is going to be what we're really going to be living that out, realizing that we are souls, that our guidance, our GPS is our intuition and how it comes through and how it's talking to us. So now if you can imagine yourself, like seeing yourself from high up, just as if you were in an airplane and you see the cars down below and they look like little cars, or you're on the 10th floor of a building and you see people. So imagine you can see yourself, and you see yourself doing things just about your daily life and in our normal setting, not self-quarantine. So you're going to meet friends for dinner, or you're going to a yoga class, or you're going to pick up your kids from school, whatever it is, any of those. And if you see yourself walking around, and so now if you're seeing yourself where you are above here, that is your higher self, that is your soul, that is your spirit. It speaks to you and guides you through your intuition, through being able to hear your intuition and then being able to act on it, and then act on it consistently. That's key. So if we back up and you can see yourself going about your daily activities, getting together with friends, going out for dinner, going on vacations, all that kind of stuff. And now, say you have this desire, this true soul desire you want to go on vacation. Now, in the 3D world, and where that is that we put our faith and we do things because we think that we're the only ones that can get it done. We are only putting our faith and belief in what we can see with our eyeballs and touch with our hands. So you want to go on vacation. Okay. In the 3D world, you go online and you book a trip, or you call a travel agent, because that's how it's going to get done. That's the only way we know it to get done. Versus in the 5D world, and if we're really truly living ourselves from our soul and aligning with our true self, and remember that love, joy, health, and abundance is our natural state. Anything outside of that shows that we're out of alignment. So this whole big shift now is happening because we are so out of alignment, because we are not following what our soul is asking us to do, to let go of, to embrace, to move forward with, to sink into, any of that. And I go into deeper what that means and examples of that, everyday examples, in my podcast as well. So it's called Lifting the Veil if you want to check it out. And so you want to go on vacation. Now you either book it through a travel site or a travel agent or anything like that, versus your higher self. So your higher self, your soul, is one, it's always going ahead of you. It can see the whole path. But here's the key. It's not going to tell you, it's not going to speak to you in complete sentences. It's going to speak to you in those nudges, in those urges, in songs that get stuck in your head, in repeating numbers, in thinking of somebody and then they contact you. All those things, everything you've encountered today or don't encounter, is actually a sign from spirit, because the universe only ever trades up. It didn't just poof, plop you down here and peace out, good luck. No, it is, you have your soul to guide you. So it knows the whole path, but it's not going to tell you or show you the whole path. This is where trust comes in, and trust comes from having a strong intuition. So it's not going to show you or tell you the whole path. It's only going to show you the first step. And the good news is that, and then once you do that step, then it's going to give you the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And the good news is that Spirit is only ever asking you to move forward with one step, never 10 at a time. And you will never miss a step, because it will only get louder until you recognize it, until you let go of something, until you shift something, until you embrace something, until you finally follow through with that idea or that nudge. All of that are ways that our soul is guiding us to get back into alignment, because our true self is love, joy, health, and abundance. Anything outside of that shows we're out of alignment. So it's gonna maybe give you the idea of an idea to, or a nudge to contact Susie. And Susie may be somebody that you haven't talked to in 12 years, or you haven't talked to in 2 months. Somebody who maybe it was even a grade school friend that you haven't talked to in eons and forever. But you're not thinking that the limited ego analytical mind, the 3D mind that has to know and have control of how it's going to come together and know that it's going to give you this end result, when the universe can deliver it through lots of different channels. If we let go and trust, and if we trust those nudges and urges, it knows the path of least resistance. Is that thinking, oh, well, how and why is reaching out to Susie because I have this idea to contact her, how is that going to bring me a vacation, the vacation that I'm desiring? Well, maybe, and you don't know yet, that you don't know in the conscious mind, but unconsciously you do, that Susie is, and remind you, 80% of our thoughts are subconscious. So our subconscious rules, but we only live our life based on the conscious ones and what we can see and really analyze. But intuition is 360 degrees. It is using all of our mind. It is letting everything flow, not just limited this perspective. It is using all of it. And that's what we came here to do, is to listen to it, to move forward, to move through lessons in karma. So Susie's parents may have gotten a timeshare and they're ready to get rid of it in a couple months, and they're just offering it up to people who want to use it for free or for a reduced rate or whatever it is. So this is what moving forward into this 5D earth looks like. It's paying attention to those nudges and those urges and ideas and what keeps coming up. You keep dating the same people, or a job gets difficult, so you leave, and whether you go get a job in a different industry, the same stuff is still going to be there unless you work through whatever your intuition is guiding you to do. So this is why it can be a little bit, it's going to be somewhat new for us, because we're putting our faith in the unseen, where we can't see how contacting Susie is going to lead to that vacation. Now, as a side note, if we tie this all into the virus and what's going on, because as you know with me, I'm always going to break it down and go a little bit deeper and give you a bigger, better understanding, kind of like with turmeric. Everybody adds turmeric to everything. Well, unless it's combined with freshly ground black pepper, it doesn't survive, and a fat, and an oil, it does not survive the detox from the liver. As a side note, I'll post some recipes, but this is why I always put a little bit of turmeric in my guacamole, because I will put freshly ground black pepper in it. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing a flock of birds, and so that definitely has meaning. So I will always put freshly ground black pepper in it, and then the guacamole masks the flavor of the turmeric, because I don't really like turmeric that much. And then I already have the fat from the avocado. So then that way I am absorbing all the anti-inflammatory benefits of turmeric. So again, I'm going to always take things a little bit, what you really need to know. It's not about taking turmeric, it's how you take it. So now if we tie this into the virus, if we look at it, astrologically, the virus has the same path as the SARS did in 2002, which I actually think these viruses came, so to speak, came from the same animal. Where you think they came from, it's not important to discuss that. And it's interesting that it was in 2002, and now we're in 2020. So it's the exact same numbers, just slightly rearranged. And if we look at it, what's one thing that isn't being discussed in the mainstream media, and I'm not sure why, I'm not saying it's a cover-up, I'm just saying that from the holistic health people that I follow that really know how to get to the root cause of things, that what I'm seeing them is that there are actually a lot of GI and digestion, like colon and gut issues coming up first with this virus. Not that it doesn't attack the lungs, but that's actually almost like the first sign of symptoms. So if we equate it back to intuition, remember that we say things, well, trust your gut, or what does your gut say, or I should have followed my gut, because the gut and the brain talk to each other more than any two other organs. And your second brain, you're literally your second brain, there's a book about that, is in your gut. And in 2002, it's the same kind of virus, is the same kind of thing. It literally didn't have the foundation, the soil to catch on as much. Not that our guts weren't destroyed back in 2002, that was 18 years ago, but they're way more out of balance and destroyed nowadays. Because remember, it's just one cell wall thick. What eats through that? Stress. The first thing to react under stress is the colon. It's not the heart, it's not the lungs, it's not the stomach, it's the colon, it's our gut. Also, this one cell wall thick can get holes in it and destroyed from pesticides. My kitchen is 100% organic, but when I go out to a restaurant, it is not 100% organic. And even organic stuff still has, residue on it, and air can travel. Polar bears used to have the cleanest air are now getting human diseases like cancer and things like that, because again, we're all connected, and our choices are not just, they don't exist in a bubble. And also, the third most popular thing to destroy our gut, aside from stress, pesticides, are parasites. And they just thrive because if we're scrolling through our phone or watching TV while eating, we're not producing enough stomach acid to kill parasites. There's other way parasites thrive, because we're just so bombarded with toxins from the gas pump, from the flame retardants on airline seats, all that stuff. The body just can't keep up. This is why the power of cleaning it out, so that you decrease your toxic load, so that the body can actually see invaders and fight it off, and not only repair that lining of the gut. So it's related then physically to our gut. It now has more people it can infect easier because our guts are more destroyed. I know that I wasn't taught how to repair the lining of my gut. I know how to do it now. And if you want information, my drop a note below. My naturopath and I, we've had an online course since 2017, where we usually release it in the spring, where you get to consult with her online. And you get to do the same cleanses that I did, that got rid of my gluten allergy, my 7-year-old's mom, cataracts, my naturopath's fibromyalgia, where you get to clean out the gut and then repair the one cell wall thick lining. And you get to eat and do whatever you want. Of course, she's not going to tell you to eat things like more pastries and more meat, but you can eat and go about your day. It's not juicing, it's not a cleanse. And then you move on to, once the gut is repaired, you can move on to the 18-day liver parasite cleanse. The liver is huge, and that filters out every toxin we've ever absorbed from the air, from our food, from medication. It is weakened by anger and frustration, so it's really, really essential. So trust our gut, well, because our intuition is so shot, because our gut is so shot. And remember, spirit is you. The mind and the body are tools. So our body, I'll go into this in another video, our body is also sending us signals where we are out of alignment. There's a whole list, but wrists are, I see even a lot of people with young people with wrists feeling like life's little injustices. The neck pain is not being able to see like other opinions or opportunities. Lower back pain is not feeling financially supported. The shoulders are kind of like emotional support. The lymph system, we talk a lot about the lymph in natural medicine, because it's one of those detox pathways. Colon, kidney, liver, and lymph are those main detox pathways that need to be cleared. And lymph is moving through life with joy. No surprise, we have not been living through a joy. We think it's an uphill battle. So more on all of this coming up. Let me know again what videos are helpful. Of course, I always want to end it with a little fashion thing, just my first true love, and what I still do. I still do fashion consulting, and for private clients and then some. But I always love earrings and specifically hoops that move. It's way more flattering than just having stagnant hoops. So I always look for earrings that move. It doesn't have to be this long. It doesn't have to have a circle at the end, but I always look for earrings that move. I say anything like work-wise should be kind of above the chin line. Anything outside of that, you can definitely wear to that. And this is my Ganesha knuckle ring I bought in India 2 years ago. And Ganesha is all about removing obstacles, and I thought that was perfect for right now.